On the bigger scale, higher levels of education teach you how do we come to a consensus. What do I mean when I say the scientific consensus? It's not like one new paper pops up and says, oh yeah, guys, guess what? That thing we used to think, it's actually not true. And then everyone goes, okay, that's the new consensus. Good job, everyone. We did it. That paper comes up, and then people say, how else could we test this? What analysis could we perform to test this? How does this theory make sense if we have all these past studies that justify the old theory? What makes those experiments wrong? We come to a consensus by continuously challenging this new idea and thinking about it in new ways. And if it stands all these challenges, then it becomes the consensus. So when I hear people who are like, oh, I'm a wolf and you're a sheep because you just listen to what the so-called experts tell you to listen to. You just do what they say. I challenge it. I listen to Joe Rogan and I Google stuff until I find what I'm looking for. What they're not understanding is that they are far from the first group of people to challenge this, right? If we have a consensus, it's because the experts have been challenging it for a long time, and they're doing it in ways that those people who are not experts in that field could not possibly understand. It's not because you're stupid. It's not because you don't know how to think critically. It's because these people are experts. They have spent their entire careers studying these things and challenging these things in the hopes that they can adjust the course of science. They're trying to say that it's wrong, not because they don't like the science, but because, first of all, that gives you some level of fame, which is going to lead to more funding for your research. But second of all, it's because, as I stated in the Change Rant, the most important scientists are the ones who significantly change the course of a field of study. And an important point I want to mention about consensus is that scientific consensus does not necessarily mean it's 100% fact. The scientific consensus can change over time because we collect new data that says that the old way of thinking was not correct. And so when I see like Charlie Kirk at a college campus, I saw this video where a kid comes up and says, I'm an economics major. And Charlie Kirk says, oh, you must have read this book. You must know the exact economic situation of this country. Still, he thinks the traditional view of education, which is you go to school, teacher writes some things on the board, you memorize them, and then you regurgitate them on the test. Right? And it's because Charlie Kirk does not understand what higher levels of education are supposed to give you. I could have two people taking the same classes at the same exact time with the same teachers, get their bachelor's, master's, and PhD together. Maybe they even work on the same or a similar research topic. And they would come out of that having retained different information,